In this episode, how on earth do we get our InMails to go viral like we see YouTubers and influencers posts go viral? Because that's not a fluke, okay? It's not even a science. It's actually a methodology, and it's an approach that is very dissectable. We can take some absolute learnings from the experts who are getting millions and millions of views. We apply them to our InMails, and guess what? We're going to get a better hit rate, better response rate, and get more candidates on the desk. So today, I'm going to go into that. It's a very, very simple one, but it's going to blow your mind, and I'm going to give you something to walk away with and do today to increase your inbox return rate from InMails. Let's do this. Welcome to another episode of the Lone Recruiter Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Clemenson, and if you're a recruiter out on your own or just lacking general advice or mentorship, you've come to the right place. Our episodes are designed to give you the motivation, the strategies, and the support you need to become the very best lone recruiter. So join us, grab a cup of coffee, and let's take your desk to another level. Now, how do you get your InMails to go viral like you see YouTubers and influencers posts go viral? Because it's not a fluke, right? What they will do, firstly, is if a post does not perform in the first hour, they will pull it. They will take it down and go, shit, the content's good, I backed the content, but we didn't get picked up by the algorithm. We need to tweak slightly the hook. We need to tweak slightly the timing or the hashtags or whatever it is, right? They go that granular with their posts because they know that virality isn't a fluke. It is just picking up the algorithm and getting it going. And once it hits, it will just go. And that's why these YouTubers are very good. They're not actually that great at content. Yes, it's good. And that's why, part of the reason why it goes viral, but getting the algorithm right is the majority part of that. They might do this 5 or 6 times until they hit the right rhythm, and then it goes. So the same logic, right? And this is relevant to recruiters and this is relevant to InMails, but the same logic can apply to e-commerce, right? So people who do, you get those emails that go out and they hit your inbox and they kind of annoy you, but some are great, some you engage with and go, oh, that looks interesting, you click into it, whatever. They will split test those emails. So they'll take a small portion of their email database, they'll do an A/B split test, they'll go, this is email version 1, this is a slightly different email version 2, let's just see which one performs the best on a small scale. They'll do a quick test there, geez, version A was way better than version B, let's run with that, and then they'll pump that thing out to the rest of their database. Okay, so that is very common practice to A/B split emails. And it just makes me think, if we are not A/B split testing our InMails, that's our version of an email campaign, that's our version of going viral. If you can get, we know our content's good, we know the job's good, we know what we've written's great, but we all know that one hook can make all the difference in that being a successful InMail campaign or not a successful InMail campaign. And sometimes we don't know what the hook's going to be. Sometimes we'll do an InMail campaign and we think this is, we always do what we think is our best work, but how do you really know that? It's your opinion versus the world, right? The response rate tells us that. So A/B split testing is the way to go with InMailing. And I can guarantee you 9 out of 10 people listening to this do not do that. You would just write your InMail and then you would go, okay, there's 200 people there. Let's just go for it. I want you now to stop and think for a moment. This is adding one step to your InMailing process, but you know what, guys? If we can increase your response rate by 10 to 20%, this exercise is worth doing. All it requires is you to have a little bit of patience. So let's just say you've got a job today. What job do you have today that you need to do an InMail campaign on? I want you to think about that right now. What job do you have on right now that you have to write an InMail for and you want to get InMails out for? Let's have that in the front of your mind when you're thinking this. I want to show you how to split test an InMail campaign, right? It is so bloody simple. Let's just say you've got a talent pool of 200 people that you want to get an InMail out to. What I want you to do today is write 2 versions of your InMail. Okay? The bulk of it's going to be quite the same. So you might have version A is all bullet points and version B is long form written. That might be a split test. Or you might be torn as to what the actual selling point on this role is. It might be a really obvious one, like the money's huge. Let's just use that as a hook. That's always a great hook. Or maybe it's the type of project or the company itself is a unique company. Whatever you think is 2 unique selling points, I want you to really play around with that. Or you might create two versions of the same hook, but you might put it at different points in the InMail. So you might say, does it go in the summary, in the heading of the InMail, or do I need to have it at the first line of the InMail, or do I need to tell the story first? Whatever you want to A/B split test, just you got to have two, slightly or very different versions of your InMail to test. Now, what I want you to do is to pick the first 15. Don't try and game this. Just take the first 15 in your list, send them version A. Take the second 15 in your list, send them version B. And now what are we looking for? We want to see how they engage. So let's just see if version A got more bytes, more responses, more connections. What's the metric you're chasing? Is it just people saying yes or no? Or is it people saying, yes, I want to talk, hell yes, I want that job? Whatever you deem is what you're trying to achieve out of that campaign. Obviously, it's getting candidates saying, yes, I want to talk to you about that job. So that would be my metric. But let's just look at version A and version B. Sit on it for 24 hours. Okay, so let's just say you're doing it this morning. Do version A, do version B. Tomorrow morning, come back and go, maybe put some little indicator in your heading so you know which version went out, and just work out which was the stronger response rate. And whatever your strongest response rate is, again, not rocket science, you use that script, that InMail script, for the rest of your talent pool, right? And this is the way to optimize and make sure that the copy that you're sending out, just like those viral videos that you see from YouTubers where they might try it 5 or 6 times, or just like those email campaigns that you see coming into your inbox that they look great, that they're not flukes, right? They are testing it on a small scale. You are not seeing that, right? And even the people you're sending version A and B to are not seeing that they're a test case. You are seeing that they're a test case, and you're just using the best version of what you're trying to put out there to the mass, to the majority of the candidate pool that you're trying to attract. And hey, this should lift your response rate with InMailing. So it's not, I think what people do and make a mistake with doing is they go, here's my template for InMailing that I apply to every single role across every single city and whatever. Like, that doesn't work, right? You have to, every job is unique. Every market is different. Every talent pool is different, right? We might have a talent pool that's 200 people. We might have a talent pool that's 25. That 25 one is so hard to get because there's so few of them, right? So we really want to nail those InMails. But what gets them motivated will be very different to what gets the other markets motivated. You see what I'm saying? So A/B testing, let's do it, and let's see if we can lift our game in InMailing. That's all I have time for you today. If you've got anything out of today's episode, like, share, subscribe, helps us grow. As always, have an amazing day. May all your InMailing dreams come true.